How to train toward isometric leverage-based skills, such as planche and levers, can be an area of confusion when training calisthenics. In this video, I will outline an intelligent way to optimize progress towards static skills like the planche, back lever, and front lever. With static bodyweight exercises, progressions tend to be a little more complicated than conventional resistance training. With conventional weight training, one can simply add weight to the bar to increase the intensity as he or she gets stronger. In contrast, static calisthenics exercises are generally progressed by lengthening a lever arm to cause a mechanical disadvantage. Consequently, progressing with calisthenics exercises is generally more complicated and requires greater thought. An analogy to help understand how skills like planche are progressed is to think of holding a stick horizontally with a weight on it. The further you move the weight from your hand, the more difficult it is to stop the stick rotating toward the floor. The same is true with planche and levers. The closer your center of mass is to your shoulders, the easier it is to hold. The further you distribute your weight from your shoulders, the more difficult it becomes. This is why tuck is easier than straddle, and straddle is easier than full. Theoretically, one could progress to lever or planche by starting with tuck holds, and over time, perform holds incrementally straightening the hips and knees as they work toward the straight body posture. The reason I don't advocate people progress in this manner is it's hard to be reliable between sets without objective measurement or feedback. For example, if you tried to replicate 75 degrees of hip flexion, it's likely you would have a significant degree of error with each set. Some sets you may flex to 80 degrees and others to 70. If you don't have decent reliability between sets, it's hard to track progress and you may just be spinning the wheel with your training. I prefer to use clear, reliable progressions, meaning they can be replicated accurately between sets. For this reason, I generally progress in the form of tuck, advanced tuck, 45-degree straddle, straddle, and full postures. However, it doesn't matter what progressions you use, as long as they are of increasing difficulty and can be reliably replicated. For example, you may choose to progress with tuck, advanced tuck, single leg, half lay, and full postures instead. The single leg variation, with one leg flexed maximally and the other straight, is worth mentioning in detail as it has good utility. This is usually of similar difficulty to a straddle variation and will generally be an easier or more comfortable option for people who have poor hip abduction range. If you tend to arch the lower back when performing straddle holds, the single leg variation can help you learn to better control pelvic and lumbar position, as flexing one hip is more conducive to maintaining a posterior pelvic tilt. Lumbopelvic control and capacity can be developed here and integrated into straddle holds later. Other common noteworthy shapes are the single leg progression with the foot on the opposite knee, the half lay position, and the open hip advanced tuck. When selecting progressions, there is no need to overcomplicate the process and use every progression you can think of. Generally, you can achieve the end goal with consistent hard work using 5 to 6 postures to work through. Additional shapes can be used to address specific weaknesses and overcome plateaus. Now for the question of how to program. Although there are many ways to program and achieve the same result, the following approach provides a simple and effective long-term method. Choose a progression you can hold between 10 and 20 seconds and perform this for 4 to 6 sets 2 to 3 times per week with at least 48 hours between sessions of the same muscle group. In addition, once a week when you're fresh, perform a couple of sets of your maximal intensity 5-second hold, stopping a couple of seconds shy of failure. This approach provides a good balance between intensity and volume. Although long duration holds, such as 60 seconds in duration, can be used purposefully, for example, to refine technique, they are not crucial and should not be the foundation of your training. If you're struggling to bridge the gap to the next progression, doing some additional sets with bands in the harder position, or repetitions moving between the harder position and an easier one, can help familiarize you with the next level and speed progress. Adding ankle weights to your current progression can also be useful, as it provides a way to progress objectively and incrementally between two levels. In addition to static holds, dynamic exercises such as lever raises or planche push-ups can help add volume to build more muscle mass and expedite strength gains. If you find you have a specific weakness, such as poor scapular protraction in the planche, this can be addressed at the end of your training session. An example of how I may structure my training to improve statics over the course of a week is planche-focused sessions Monday and Wednesday and front lever sessions Tuesday and Thursday. An example front lever session may look like this: 4 sets of isometric 15-second holds, 3 sets of 5 lever raises, and 2 sets of 8 unilateral scapular rows each arm. I hope this tutorial helps you progress with your static skills. If you found it useful, please like, comment, and share it with your friends.